Tres Amigas is the concept of uniting the three grids in North America together so we can move power back and forth. I began to develop this concept in 2007. If you look at the evolution of the electric industry in North America, you look at it in Europe, particularly in China, the electric industry evolves, it develops. Few people realize that in the 1950s, the Eastern Interconnection was actually 4 separate interconnections. And then it united to become the mighty Eastern Interconnection at 600,000 megawatts today. So as electric institutions evolved, it became apparent to me that it was time in the evolution, the normal electrical evolution of North America, that the three grids should be put together. You also look at these trading hubs, you notice there's some in the east, one in Texas, and some in the west. But it's time when you look at the price differentials between these trading hubs, and we've looked at this price differential hour by hour over 4 years, and even down to the 15-minute increment over a year, and it's absolutely huge, the price differentials. It's almost on that basis alone that it's worthwhile to put the three grids together and make them functional and to be able to work as we move forward.
The reality is that we have a system here in the United States that needs a lot of work and a lot of investment just to get it back to the condition that it was in when it was put up. And of course, our job is to do both. One of the things that we'll see, and you'll probably hear from all of the speakers, is that, a lot of times transmission continues to get tied to technologies. You need it for renewables. We need it to build larger nuclear power plants. We need it for this, we need it for that. The fact is, it serves all of them. There is no technology that I have listed here that stands alone and really meets the full manifestation of its goals without a robust regional transmission grid, one that is reliable. The bottom word down there is that this robust transmission grid provides all of our customers, all the people that we talk about, optionality for the future. At the top of my list is we need a national energy plan. We absolutely need a national energy plan. If without it, we're going to sit here and debate less filling tastes great. We're going to have a show of hands as to what it is we want to do, but we have no guiding star. So people like myself and everyone else will have debates as to what should be built. With a national energy plan, it gives us something common to build to. It absolutely gives us something common to build to. The second thing that we need is we could get that national energy plan. We need a way to price it. We need a way to have customers pay for it. I'm glad to say that both in SPP and MISO, they have plans out there today, both of which will work. They're different. They work differently. And you can bet that there are a lot of detractors out there who don't like those plans for one common reason. It will truly enable a competitive wholesale electric market to exist. And we should want that. You should want that. Because without that, we're not going to get the best mousetrap built. We're not going to get it delivered to our customers. And we're going to continue in the dog fights that we have. So we have to get this done. And then third, we can price it. We can have all the policies that we want. But the fact of the matter is we got to be able to site it and build it.
And the things that we've done include the, in this NOPR, planning and cost allocation, which we think are the two most important parts of transmission, getting transmission developed from a regulatory standpoint. And certainly the two that we have the jurisdiction over, and as was indicated in Joe's speech, there is that third leg, which is siting, that FERC has very little siting authority. But with respect to the planning and cost allocation, this NOPR proposes to, by regions and not by interconnect, we're looking to deal with it by regions and by those regional planning authorities that we have authority over, be the RTOs or even outside of the RTOs, and this would apply both outside of the RTOs as well as to the RTOs, that they develop transmission plans and cost allocation methods that consider the benefits of new transmission facilities, including reliability, economics, and a new category, and that category is state and federal laws or regulations related to policies that will impact transmission. So these could be things like state renewable portfolio standards. They could be things like the EPA emission regulations. It could be anything that has an impact on the resources that will be necessary to interconnect with transmission to ultimately make that transmission robust and deliver to loads, to the consumers, the energy services that they're going to require under the state and federal policies that their elected officials deem appropriate. We also propose to require each pair of neighboring regions to coordinate transmission planning and cost allocation. And I think this is very important.
The offshore project that we're proposing has a number of benefits. One, it will be DC technology. It will have offshore DC converter stations, accumulating wind up and down the coast. There's a professor at the University of Delaware who has done a study that says that if you can combine wind farms on a backbone over at least 200-300 miles of line, and ours would be 350, you will be able to smooth out the variability of wind production so that it's not perfectly consistent, but nearly so. And it will be enable wind farms to be located 15 miles or more offshore, which essentially removes the visibility issue with maybe on a clear day at 15 miles you could see just a little bit in the horizon. And the other thing that's going to be very interesting from having a complete superhighway such as we're proposing is that the corridor between Washington, D.C. and New York is the one of two most congested transmission corridors in the United States. By having a subsea cable alternative at sea, we are going to be able to have a tremendous impact on congestion and the movement of electricity up and down the coast. And the LMP, the locational marginal price savings, will be in excess of $17 billion for the consumers. It will enable 6 million tons of CO2 to be removed or to be replaced. It would enable 3 million cars, that's the equivalent of 3 million cars to be removed from our highways. It would enable the removal or the replacement of 6 coal generating plants. And of course, there are many more than 6 that are in the 40, 50, 60-year age bracket that are going to be removed in any event. Plus, when you go out that far to shore, even the environmental community has embraced our project because the wind farms placed that far out where the winds are stronger also is far away from the migratory bird flyways. Sea mammal migration is less affected the further out you go. And of course, recreational fishing and even commercial fishing can be avoided.